And you know what it is? People limit themselves because they don't think about things like that, right? Like they just think of, oh, I'm just graduating college. I have no assets. I can't get a business loan. I can't do this. I can't do that. And I think we self-limit a little bit, Chris, because it's a protection thing, right? It's our own protection thing that's built into our DNA. But anytime something is going to be scary, or anytime something is just into waters that we haven't gone into right now, you're a debt-free college, you know what I mean? You haven't had that. Now, all of a sudden, you owe somebody $40,000, and people don't understand the magnitude of that, right? Yeah. And I love that he made it connected to his daughter's trust too, because it's like now you have that personal connection that even strengthened it. But I encourage people that are listening and thinking about, hey, I can't do it. There's no way I can do it. I would never get the loan. I would never get this. These are just all self-limiting beliefs. Like these are just things that you do a quick Google search and you're like, I'm going to need to have this many assets in order to get this loan. I guess I give up. Right? And you know, maybe they should give up. If you're willing to give up that quickly, maybe entrepreneurship is not for you.
It's not for you, yep. You know, I think a really important lesson here, and I did a reel on this recently, is this mindset of going above and beyond what is asked for you. And I did that in my relationship with Paul and Kinnery. It wasn't like, oh, showed up 1 minute before the private lesson, do the private lesson exactly for 30 minutes, then I'm, I truly took her under my wing. I invested my time and my energy flying all over the country to coach her. And I think so many people have this mindset of just doing enough or just doing what they get paid for. And going above and beyond has never backfired in my life. And it's only continued to attract more people to me because of having that mindset.
And because I know you, Chris, and I can confidently say this, got back to the Zig Ziglar quote, there's a connection to that girl that was beyond the private lesson money. You needed the private lesson money. Money's a tool. Yep. It's going to help you pay your rent, your car, like that kind of stuff, right? I never like this. I'm not a big money guy. I don't focus on money. I focus on, what does the money deliver? What's the outcome? What's the next thing? I think that passion that you have and that commitment, one of the quotes that I love is when people talk about when you do something for somebody else, when you know there's no potential of return, like that is the truth of giving, right?
Sure.
It's not, hey, I'm doing this because I know I'm going to get this in return. Yes, you did your obligation that you were paid for by showing up and doing the 30 minutes. But the investment that you made into that young lady for the 15 minutes of game planning, for the travel, for the things you weren't paid for, right? To me, is what you put out to the universe. Now, you never knew that this man was going to come hit you with a $40,000 loan to start your dream. No. Never had that. You didn't do it with that purpose. And I think that's the point that I'm trying to get to, is do things with a pure heart. Do them to genuinely help somebody. And there's so much more power in that, right? I just think that it's huge. And that's a huge point, because knowing you, Chris, knowing how you give back to the 7-figure agency community. Listen, Chris is somebody that's like, everybody knows Chris is amazing at Facebook. Chris just described that she owns a multi-million-dollar business in marketing, one of the busiest martial arts school in the state of Florida, all this stuff. And I swear to you, if somebody in the group reaches out to Chris and says, I need 20 minutes, I just need this explained or something, Chris will jump on at 9 p.m., whatever it takes. And it's like, and does anyone ever pay you for that, Chris? Does anybody, you know what I mean? No, but, and that's just one of the things I just want to say I admire so much about you, because it's such selfless giving, and everything that you're getting back now, like, I'm a huge believer in the law of attraction. I'm a huge believer in intentions. Think, Grow Rich is my favorite book. I've read it 7 times. Oh, and it's a difficult read, right? But I've read it.
It's a little dry.
It's a little dry, but it's just the principles, and it's like the thinking of it. And I'll tell you a quick story. My ex-wife is Brazilian, and this is early in my career, right? So I don't think I ever made a bonus like more than $1,000, right? So we were in an apartment just starting out. We had our one son, and her uncle, is extremely poor. When I went to Brazil, he brought me into his home. I've never seen such pride in a man, though, right? Because he built this home with his bare hands. Part of the house didn't have a roof, Chris. And for me, I'm culture shock. I grew up right outside of Philadelphia suburb, right? Middle-class family, that kind of stuff. So for me, it was a big culture shock. But one thing that I connected to was just to see the pride that this man had in his home and everything. Now, this man has 4 children. He adopted 3 children, okay? does not have any money, Chris, but these kids had less than what he had. So anyway, long story short, the way he would make money for his family is he had a truck, and he would drive around and he would pick up scrap metal and he would bring it to the yards, get it, and get money for it. That's how he made money to feed his family. One day, my wife, I come home, my ex-wife is literally just crying, and I was like, what's the matter? And she's like, they set, his name's Chiogenio, they set Chiogenio's truck on fire. Like a bunch of kids, like whoever, hooligans just came in, set his truck on fire. He has no method, like now he can't make money. Now he can't feed his family and everything like that. So I asked my wife, I said, how much do you think we could get a truck for? Like, how much do you think we could get a truck? I had $3,100 in my bank account. Okay. She goes, I found one for $1,500. Cool. Buy him the truck. And it was just like, now I never thought, oh, this man's going to pay me. And she's like, he's not going to be able to pay you back. I'm like, I don't want to be paid. Like his connection to what he does for other people and stuff like that is driving me to want to do this. She's like, that's half of our savings. I was like, I understand it's half of our savings. I don't care. I will make more money. Give it to him. Chris, true story. 3 days later, okay, closed the biggest deal I've ever closed for the company I was working for. And I received a $16,000 bonus check.
Wow.
3 days later.
So good.
3 days
so
later.
Good.
So for me, it's like people, like, it's funny because like people give me pushback on that stuff. They're like, oh, that's the mystical stuff. And it says, and it's like, yeah, it's mystical until it works. And for my entire life, it's worked, right? So I'm like, but no, it's awesome.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. That's so powerful. It's so good.
Well, okay, so we're going to move into the part of the episode, which is my favorite part. And I love having you as the first one because everyone talks about whys, right? And that's a big thing. It's a big thing people talk about in business. And if you don't think about your why or your purpose or your mission or all that kind of stuff, you're missing out on a lot of your potential. I can tell you that because for me, it's what drives me and everything like that. But I always tell people there's surface level whys. Chris, you're a mom, adorable, Cruz, love that little guy. Awesome. And it's like, so a surface level wise is Cruz, right? It's my son. I want to do this for my son. But I believe the whys go so much deeper than that. And I believe that the whys come from what you learned in childhood, things you're trying to avoid, things you want to avoid for other people because of experiences happen to you. I shared before and I share publicly, like one of my whys, one of my drives, like I really like to motivate people. I like to empower people. I like to make them feel like their best self. And I've done things like 75 Hard and I challenge myself to try to be an inspiration for other people and things like that, you know, but part of that is I want to help people and I have a mission to this. And it's like when I did my dig deep and I went to a retreat in an Amazon jungle one time to go really deep to really understand myself. And, you know, one of the things that I realized was it was the bullying. I grew up being bullied my whole entire life. And it was something that I struggled with, but it's like, but I also look at it and it's like, I look at that today. And when I left the Amazon, I actually found out how to be grateful for that experience because who I am today, I wouldn't be who I am today without going through those experiences. So while they sucked in the moment, like I look now and I'm like, that's part of my why. Part of my why is I want people to experience the feeling that I feel every day. Chris, I love myself. And it's not a bad thing. I'm proud of myself. I look at myself in the mirror. I high five myself in the mirror sometimes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm proud of that, man. I feel I'm a great father. I feel this and everything. But that comes from that, right? It comes from that self that I built, if you will, because of those experiences and everything. So to me, and it was funny, I had someone reach out and actually like apologize to me. And they're like, dude, like I follow your content. You're the man. And it's like, I'm so sorry for being such a shithead when we were young. And I'm like, bro, it's all good, man. Your kids are beautiful. So it's like, just to see all that stuff. So for me, that's where I discovered that's where I discovered my purpose. But I want to get into yours because yours is just like this. It's like every time you level up, you're ready to level up again. And it's like the sky's the limit. It's a cliche thing, but for you, it's like, I just see it. It's like, all of a sudden I'm like, wow, she did this. And then I'm like, all right, time for cruise control. And then next thing you know, here comes elite CEO group that I'm helping women empower. He's just like, Chris, what are you doing?